Good morning students, welcome to our online classes. Today we are going to study about properties of multiplication of whole numbers. Okay, in our previous class you have studied about the properties of addition of whole numbers. Today we will study properties of multiplication of whole numbers. But before we start, we need to revise something, and based upon our revision we will deduct some more results. Okay, in our previous class you have studied 4 properties of addition. While adding two whole numbers are always closed under addition. Correct? Means if you add two whole numbers, then you will get a whole number. Right? If you add any two whole numbers, then you are going to get a whole number itself. That is known as closure property. Correct? Now, the commutative property, what is that? If you add two whole numbers, suppose that 2 and 7, then whatever is the result, if you add them in the reverse order, that you will get the same result. That is known as commutative property. In the same way, associative property, irrespective of the sequence of the numbers, you can add them. Correct? If you want to add a plus b first and then you want to add c, then you can do that. And if you want to add b plus c first and then you want to add a, you will get the same result. Correct? And existence of additive identity. What was the identity? Identity means a number which is when added to any other whole number, it will give the same number, like 0. Okay, what is the additive identity? Additive identity is 0. Why? Because if you add 0 to any other number, you will get the same number. 7 plus 0, you will get 7. 0 plus 7, you will get 7. So what if you are going to add this identity to any other number, you will get the same other number in the side. Right? Let us find out if these all 4 properties are followed by subtraction or not. Okay, let us take examples. 7 minus 4. Closure property says that if we subtract, if we want to define the closure property under subtraction, then what we need to do? All the numbers, if you take any two whole numbers, then on subtraction you should get a whole number. Correct? I have taken two whole numbers, 7 and 4. These two are whole numbers, so 7 minus 4 we are getting 3. But if we talk about 9 and 11, right? 9 and 11 both are whole numbers. But can we subtract them? No. Why? Because this is the smaller one, this is the larger one, and we cannot subtract a larger number from a smaller one. Correct? We don't know what we are going to get. We will study what we are going to get in a different chapter. Okay? This subtraction is possible, but not under whole number. You are not going to get a whole number over here. You don't have any whole number or any method which will give you the result for this subtraction. Correct? In the same way, so we can say that closure property does not hold under subtraction for whole numbers. Correct? Because we have these two numbers, right? And they are not closed under whole numbers. So let us take for the second property, that is the commutative property. Again we have taken the same example, 7 minus 4, what we are getting? 3. Commutative property says if we do in the backward direction, then also we should get the same result. Correct? So 7 minus 4 we are getting 3. What about 4 minus 7? Can we subtract a greater number from a smaller one and get the same result as 3? No. So commutative property also does not hold under subtraction. Correct? Let us talk about associative property. Now, in associative property, I have seen in addition that we used to take two numbers together. Irrespective of their order, we can subtract and we can add and we get the same result. So for the subtraction, we will simply change the operation, right? 8 minus 7 minus 4. So we are first subtracting 7 minus 4 and then we are taking that the result out from 8. Okay, 7 minus 4 is 3, and when subtracted from 8, we are getting 5. If we change the order of subtraction, we want to subtract 8 minus 7 first, and then whatever is the result, 4 will be subtracted from that. Okay, so 8 minus 7 is 1, right? Minus 4, can we subtract? Again we are stuck over here because we cannot subtract a bigger number from a smaller one and get a whole number. It is not possible. Okay, we don't have any such whole number. Now let us take another example. We were stuck. Let us take another example. Okay, 9 minus 2 minus 1. Now here If we are subtracting 2 minus 1, we are getting 1, and then subtracted from 9, we are getting 8. What if I want to subtract 9 minus 2 first and then subtract 1 from the result? 9 minus 2, that is 7, minus 1 is 6. Are these two results same? No. So we can say that associative property also does not hold for subtraction. Okay. Let us take about identity. In addition, we have found that there is a number 0, there is a whole number 0, which when added to any other number will give you the same number irrespective of the order. Correct? If you add 0 in 8, you will get 8. If you add 8 in 0, then also you will get 8. Correct? But for subtraction, if you subtract 0 from 8, you will get 8. But if you subtract 8 from 0, you will not get 8. Because again the same problem, we cannot subtract a larger whole number from a smaller whole number. So we can say that subtraction of whole numbers do not follow any of the above laws. Okay. Now let us talk about multiplication. Now for multiplication, what was the first property? Closure. Correct? Let us take two whole numbers. 9 into 2, we are getting 18. 9 2s are 18. 9 is a whole number, 2 is a whole number, and 18 is also a whole number. So multiplying two whole numbers, we are getting a whole number. Let us take some bigger example. 12 into 17 equals to 204. Right? 12 is a whole number, 17 is a whole number, and 204 is also a whole number. Let us talk about 0. 10 into 0 is equal to 0. So 10 is also a whole number, 0 is also a whole number, and the resultant 0 is also a whole number. So we can say that if we have two whole numbers a and b, now this a and b can be any whole number. Any whole number starting from 0 and going to infinity. Any of the numbers you can take, any two numbers. Okay, smaller or larger doesn't matter. A and b can be any two whole numbers. Then a into b, if you multiply both the whole numbers that you have taken, a into b, this is also a whole number, and this property is called closure property of multiplication. Okay, let us talk about the second property. We have taken an example, 8 into 14 is equal to 112. What if we reverse the order? We multiply 14 by 8, then also we will get 112. Let us take another example. 9 6 are 54. What about 6 9s are? 6 9s are is also 54. And this property is known as commutative property. So if we take any random two whole numbers, okay, we can take two random whole numbers a and b. Then we can say that a into b is equals to b into a. Correct? That means you can reverse the order of multiplication. Whether you multiply a by b or you multiply b by a, the result will be always same, and this property is known as commutative property. Clear? Now the third property, again as you have done in addition, you can change the order of multiplication also. For example, if you we have three numbers 7, 5 and 4. First we multiply 5 and 4, what we are getting? 20. 5 4s are 20. 20 into 7, what it is? 140. Now if I want to multiply 7 and 5 first and then multiply the resultant with 4, what we will get? 7 into 5 will be 35. 35 into 4, again 140. Right? Let us talk about the next one. 9 into 7 into 6. So 7 into 6 is 42. Multiplied by 9 we get 378. And if we multiply 9 into 7 first, we are getting 63. 9 7s are 63. Into 6, we are getting 378. So we can see that whether you change the order of multiplication, we are getting the same result. Correct? So we can say for any three whole numbers, because for the associative law we need three whole numbers. So we have taken any three random whole numbers a, b and c. You can take any of them irrespective whether they are larger or smaller, doesn't matter. Okay, you can take any three whole numbers a, b and c. Then If you multiply B and C first and then multiply by A, you will get the same result as if you multiply A and B first and then multiply by C. Okay, there you can change the order of multiplication while dealing with whole numbers. The result will be always same. You can change the order of multiplication according to your convenience. Okay, now fourth one, we need to talk about identity, right? The fourth property for addition was identity. Let us take an example for multiplication also. We have a number 1. What was the identity? Definition for identity was, for addition, if you add that number with any other number, you should get the same result. So for multiplication, the identity should be a number which you multiply with any other number, you will get the same number. So there is a number 1. If you multiply 1 with any other number, any other whole number like 5 or 1906, you will get the same number as the result, that is 5 or 1906. What if we reverse the order? 1 is multiplied by 5, then also you are getting the same number 5, and 1 is multiplied by 1906, then also you are getting 1906. So we can say that 1 is the multiplicative identity. Remember, whenever you are talking about identity, you have to mention for what operation you are mentioning. Okay, because for addition the identity is different, and for multiplication you can see the identity is different. For addition you had the identity 0, but for multiplication you had the identity 1. So remember to mention for which operation you are talking about. Okay, so we can say that for all whole numbers like B, I have taken an example B, you can take any other number in place of B, any other whole number in place of B. We have a number which is 1. We have 1 such that B into 1 is equals to 1 into B is equals to B. Whether you multiply B by 1 or whether you multiply 1 by B, you should always get the same number B. Okay. So, summarizing all the 4 properties, what we can say? We can say that whole numbers satisfy the following properties for multiplication. Closure property satisfied, commutative property satisfied, associative property satisfied, and existence of multiplicative identity satisfied.